sharing a reading experience. I took down notes from The Wise Heart by Jack Cornfield, and I'm sharing them with you now. I hope you listen and receive something worthwhile from this. Remember, these are just my notes, not necessarily a report of what the book is about. It might not even be the words of or thoughts of the author. Rather, these notes are what I gleaned or thought about while I was reading. These notes are what caught my interest because the ideas expanded my knowledge or made me think or reflect or ponder in some way. This video might inspire you to read what I did. It's my hope that you will search from the best books and gain information and ideas to help you to become a better reader. The more you read, the better you'll think. And the better you think, the more you'll be able to face life's challenges successfully. No strategy can keep us from loss or sorrow, sickness or death. This is human life. In all situations, we are vulnerable. Life is fleeting, precious, and beautiful. But in this cynical time, we might think of the goodness of life as a mere uplifting phrase. The mind receives thoughts, feelings, and intuitions. If we fully acknowledge our dignity, it could lead to a radical life change. It could ask something huge of us, something too big for us. How frightening. And yet, some part of us knows that the frightened and the damaged self is not who we are. Karma is a law of cause and effect. When we live the effect of delusion, it causes us to quickly judge. It causes us to miss inner beauty. We'll find ourselves unable to respond with compassion to pain. Denial is a form of delusion where we don't believe what's in front of us. Other delusions include forgetting who we are, lack of attention, forgetfulness, and being on automatic pilot. But the deepest delusion is the misperception of reality. This is the hardest to face because it threatens our most cherished assumptions. Delusions put us in a trance, and then our lives disappear. The delusions are often exasperated by the frenzied pace of life. Simeon Weil said, "The danger is not that the soul should doubt whether there is any bread, but that a lie it should be persuaded itself that it is not hungry." The repressive Victorian society was built on centuries of denial. The physical and instinctive was devalued in favor of the mortification of the flesh, which has carried over to today. We ignore the body's wisdom and mortify it by trying to make it a machine subject to managed care, steroids, and plastic surgery. We then distract ourselves with fast food and video games. We have lost our connection to our instinctive life, which has resulted in the loss of vitality, chronic pain, stress related diseases. The human body is the most valuable source of spiritual learning, but the body betrays us if we limit ourselves to the fulfillment of bodily desires and believe that the body is who we are. If we believe this, when we face age or sickness or difficulties or even death, we will be lost and frightened. With recognition, We step out of denial. Denial undermines our freedom. Recognition moves us from the delusion and ignorance towards freedom. Acceptance allows us to relax and open up to the facts before us. Acceptance does not mean that we can't work to improve things, but just now, this is what's in front of us. Hermann Hesse said, "There is no reality except the one contained within us." That is why so many people live such an unreal life. They take the images outside them for reality and never allow the world within the body and mind to reveal itself. Unquote. As children, many were taught courage in the form of a warrior or an explorer facing danger. But great courage is not aggression or ambition. Aggression and ambition are closer to expressions of fear and delusion. The courageous heart is the one who is unafraid to open up. It is with compassion that we can trust our capacity to open to life without putting on armor. Every loss in this life is the opportunity to shut out the world and stand up with dignity and let the heart respond. Compassion is not codependence. It does not mean that we lose self respect or blindly sacrifice ourselves. We often fear that compassion will mean that we'll be overwhelmed by the suffering of others. Compassion is not foolish or going along with what others want. Rather than being on a one-way street, compassion encompasses everything, including ourselves. You're not trying to fix the pain of the world, only hold it with a compassionate heart. Hold worry with kind attention. Much of life can't be explained, it can only be witnessed. We're not here just to gain pleasure and avoid pain. We're here to grow in wisdom and compassion. Painful experiences are not failures. We suffer not because we've sinned, but because we are blind. Compassion is the natural response to this blindness. Compassion means to see our struggles with kindly eyes. We need compassion to help us to be tender with our difficulties and not close them off with fear. Unworthiness is not helped by striving, but by compassion. Robert Johnson, a Jungian analyst, said, "It is more disturbing to find out you have profound nobility of character than to find out you're a bum." The word nobility does not refer to royalty, but it comes from the Greek word know, as in gnosis, meaning to know, as in wisdom or illumination. See the inner nobility and beauty of all human beings. Each time we meet another human being and honor their dignity, we help those around them. In India, when people greet each other, they put their palms together and bow and say, "Namaste. I honor the divine within you." To the extent we cling to identities, we suffer. You are in prison when you can't let go of an identity. To be wise, we need to be able to enter each role fully with awareness and compassion and let go when our part is done. We need to let go of one position and take up another. Shakespeare knew who he was outside the roles and the scripts. We can only be free by realizing We only have temporary roles in life, and by not forgetting who we really are apart from these roles. As we examine our self image, our tribe, our roles, we can acknowledge that they are tentative. A mature life requires an ability to enter each role given to us, and then freedom arises when we hold them only lightly and when we see them for what they are. Our body, our thoughts, our feelings, our personality all seem to be us, yet all of them are subject to change. They are all tentative. The more tightly we cling to the idea that we own something, the greater our unhappiness. We live only as stewards, caring for things. To possess means being trapped by the concepts of selves and possession. Before every act, there is an intention. When we foster healthy states, unhealthy ones disappear. Letting go is both the goal and the path. Daily meditation can become like a shower or brushing your teeth. It can bring a regular cleansing and calming to your mind and heart. Relax. Feel your breath. Experience life without judgment or expectation. Mindfulness requires a suspension of judgment. Accept pleasure, pain, and neutral experience in a gracious way. Savor the details. George Washington Carver said, "Anything will give up its secrets if you love it enough." Thank you for joining me. Until next time, take it easy.